Welcome to Scene, where the art world meets the real world. Every 2 weeks, we sit down with emerging and established artists to offer a genuine glimpse into their lives and minds, all in an authentic and totally straightforward manner. I'm Carrie Scott, your host. And with 2 decades of experience as a curator and art historian, I firmly believe in the transformative power of art, if it's seen.
Today on the Scene podcast, I am so thrilled to welcome Richelle Rich back to tell us all the news from Frieze, LA. Now, if you've been paying attention on social media, you will have seen her reporting kind of live because we put up carousel after carousel of her greatest picks. But this evening, we are going to ask her all about what she saw, what she liked, what she maybe didn't like, if we're allowed to do that, and everything in between. And I think I want to start with what from afar is the impression that I'm getting. Headlines are that the fair was a giant success, and sales have been great, and works have been placed in collections, like big collections. Um, but Richelle, as our LA residents, did it really feel that positive overall?
Do you know, that's so interesting because I've read nothing. I've read nothing about anything. I've literally just been feet on the ground trying to get in as much as possible. And that really makes me feel good. Literally, as you're saying it, I'm sort of getting chills because it was really great. You know, it's always my favorite week of the year in LA anyway. So it's always exciting. But last year, you know, we were really scrambling. It was right after the fires and everyone wanted to show up for the artists. And it had a real bittersweet edge to the success of some of the artists last year. But this year, it felt really great. And Frieze felt good. You know, that generally the whole thing is like really good fun. But, you know, you have favorite fairs different years and stuff. But this year, Frieze just nailed it. It was really great.
And do you okay, as someone who, right, I've done Frieze here in London a bazillion times. I've never done Frieze LA. When you say it's your favorite week of the year, I say the same thing about Frieze week, October London, because the whole city like rises to the occasion. Is is that the deal out there as well? Is everyone doing stuff?
Well, you know, I can't speak for everyone as much as I would like to, but to me, in my world, that's kind of how it feels. I think for the rest of the year, this city is centered around a totally different industry. And being an artist here and being someone that wants to go and see art, you know, we talk about the traffic here, like in England, we talk about the weather. You know, like the traffic is brutal. And so for this 1 week, we all just suck it up and we all go for it and we all go out. And it's like this great social thing as well, seeing everyone in the art world, artists, friends, people that are collectors, everyone seems to come together and get out there. And it, for me, it feels like, dare I say, a proper international city with a really international, vibrant, exciting art scene for that 1 week. And I think that's really because it's just so hard to connect and consistently connect with the thing of having to go all over all the time. And, you know, in London, you might go and see 3 or 4 shows in a day. Here, you have to kind of push to try and get to see one because you might be stuck in traffic for an hour. And that's the last thing I'll say about traffic in LA.
I bet it's not. I'm gonna like try.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
I'm gonna try and rework a question or two to get you to say something. Um, what the other thing that felt not only from your coverage, um, and we should maybe back up, right? Because this time last year, the fires had happened. You and I did connect, and I wanted to do scene office hours so that we could feature Frieze LA, and it kind of really focused the mind on reporting on what was going on out there after this
Yeah.
incredibly impossible time. And as you say, like supporting the art community. Um, and so then I was wondering if this year felt sort of a different sense of urgency, like the week or Frieze had to maybe prove itself even more. Like last year was,
I,
I don't want to say the sympathy vote, but do you know what I mean? That like all eyes were on it
mm,
because should Frieze have even got ahead last year and all that. But this year it was like, right, we're going. What is that a surprise?
I don't know that I thought about that very much. I showed up. It was joyous. It was, um, it felt like an LA show, but not in a cheesy way. There were a lot of palm trees in this show, right? There were lots of pools, but it felt like really great quality, um, sort of some old Hollywood kind of nostalgic stuff. There was some Larry Sultan. There was, Jake Longstreet's giant palm tree. And the really lovely thing for me, and I just want to like put a pin in your sort of question about it for a second, because I think it's very hard to be totally objective. I'm going in there as an artist. And I think like when we view art, all of us, it's a mirror, right? It's how we feel at that time. And I was looking at this work and it just felt like after this year of recovering from the fires and fighting fascism and everything that's going on in the States, it just felt like this joyous, objectively joyous show.
Well,
Yeah, it was
and
great.
so I love hearing that because one of the things I was going to ask you is, uh, I kind of gave you an assignment, as it were. Um, right. And covering art fairs is not something an artist would normally do. And indeed, so many artists don't really enjoy going to fairs because they feel too commercial and they feel too, yeah, the commerce is just out in front. But it sounds like you didn't feel that way. Like you were there to look.
I've had years, if you've had a rough year as an artist, which, there are sometimes many, it can be tricky, sure, viewing it. And the thing is, behind every sale is an artist that is selling work and putting that out there. So we can be cynical and say this is about the commerce and the politics of it and who gets out in front of stuff. But this is getting eyes on art. And if that means we see celebrities of people looking at artists' work, then so be it, because we just want eyes on art. We want money in artists' pockets. We want more work, right? So I kind of love an art fair. It's not everything. And what it means is there's all these other fairs that come up and all these other events that international audiences get to see that maybe you wouldn't see. Like I went to this tiny little show by a curator called, well, actually, she had guest curators, but her name is Hannah Sloan. And it was this tiny little show with, I think, 6 or 7 different artists. I hope I'm not getting this wrong. And it was just quirky and delicate and it was off the beaten track. But people are seeing that because Frieze is on, which is sort of the antithesis of it, but it rises everybody's work up and increases visibility. So I'm all for it.
What talk me through your schedule. So Frieze was kind of
Frieze was
Thursday,
Thursday.
and
Yeah.
then you went everywhere.
Well, actually, I think Wednesday night was the opening of Felix. So that opened first. And then we've got Frieze. Then we've also got 2 new fairs this year. So and then there's another art fair. And then we've got Butter, which is really exciting. And we've got LA Show. No, Show LA. I'm going to get that round the right way. And I mean, I know you love photography books. So that was great. And there was a talk with Todd Heido. And it's, yeah, there was something for everybody at different price points. The art book thing is obviously great for me. I love that.
But Butter, I was looking it
Yeah.
up furiously while you were writing because I was like, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. They call themselves America's Equitable Fine Art Fair.
Yes.
Um, and it sounds like it's been somewhere before. I'd never heard of it.
Indiana. It started in Indiana.
That huge art.
So isn't it interesting that we haven't heard about it? Like, shouldn't we have known about that, right? I got nothing. I got no information about that show. I found it during the week, and that was from a friend who was coming down from San Francisco to go to a talk there. So it's really interesting about what the information that we get fed. Here's something really great about butter. And, I'm sure everyone has mixed feelings about this. Kids go free. Kids under 18 go free. Now, anyone over 2 at Frieze needs a ticket. That, to me, says volumes about who it's for. So I'm not going to judge either way. I don't know if I was dropping hundreds of thousands of dollars on a painting if I want loads of 6-year-olds running that. I don't know. But you've got to think about who is this for and who is it making it accessible to. And I thought that was great.
And equally, right, maybe it does welcome a different demographic who maybe has just had a kid and is like, I don't want a screaming baby at Frieze because people might look at me weird.
Babies in arms go free at Frieze. So if you've just had a baby and you're hormonal and connecting with work, I feel like that's a good marketing ploy. But no toddlers.
Frieze needs you on the marketing team. So the other thing that makes butter incredibly unique, right, is that 100% of the profit goes directly to the artist. So this is like a completely new art fair model. And they say on their website in big blue letters on a yellow-black background that 1.2 million artworks have been sold since 2021. Now, I know you weren't going to mention traffic again, but I can. You didn't make it over there because of, logistics.
It's actually, I was planning on going Sunday because there were 2 that I missed. I missed butter and I missed another art fair. But this is how you've tricked me into talking about the traffic again. It's Inglewood. And I think that's the main, I don't want to say drawback, but the tricky thing about Art Week in LA is you have to make choices and sacrifices get made. And I was really sad about that one. I had a kids thing I had to do Sunday, working mum stuff, and it just didn't happen how I wanted. I had friends that went and said that it was great and went to the talk program. That was fantastic. I also have to say they have the best merch, like really great merch. Check it out. It's really good.
But that almost also gives me, I mean, this shouldn't turn into a whole chat about art fairs generally or art weeks generally, but I sort of love the idea that there was so much going on that you can't do it all. That
in
to me
theory,
shows thriving, like
yes,
mega.
but I want all of it. I found it really frustrating. Like I drove a lot. Here we go, just the traffic. I drove a lot, but I want to see all of it. It's like hugely frustrating to me. I want it all because it feels so condensed into that week. So like I said, I didn't see another and I didn't see butter, but I heard they were great. And I think that we're definitely catering as a city for a much broader demographic and audience, which is fantastic.
Okay. And my friend, if you had to pick
Oh God.
three works that stood out to you that have like stayed with you through the weekend into today, like what are you still thinking about?
I'm still thinking about Maureen Paley's show. Always. I mean, yeah, there was a Gillian Wearing at Maureen Paley, a tiny little portrait, and I'm assuming it's a self-portrait of Gillian on a sofa taking a picture of her reflection in the TV with her phone. And the phone and then the TV and then the framing and the painting technique. It was just, I think a few things that Maureen did were really, really great. I actually did buy something over the weekend. So I bought a Martin Parr, because, how could you not, of the ice cream from Rose Gallery at LA Show LA. I'm going to get that round the right way at some point, from Show LA. So I did purchase that. Robert Russell was interesting, and Nat Ebge. Now, I've seen big shows of his, and they feel like I really love what he does, but sometimes it can kind of feel like a trick, right? Because he can do this thing and it's so realistic, and I get caught up in the technique and the spectacle of it. And there was one just tiny little painting of a dial phone. And it was just sort of, honestly, there was a little grouping with a couple of other artists, really delicate, whimsical paintings. And I do want to say this, that amongst the glitz of all of it, which felt very LA, they were really beautiful, touching, clever, thoughtful, whimsical works that really moved me. You know, beyond, and I'm talking about Frieze in particular here, but the spectacle of Frieze. And then, you know, the I think it is Shilpa Gupta, this little tower of broken pencil points. It was such a brave thing to bring into a fair because it doesn't photograph well. It's really fragile, and that was gorgeous. Bill Meta, that's an LA gallery. They always do incredibly sort of interesting works. And again, it was very unashamedly feminine. So maybe that, but I'm going to go with the Brits again. But Richard Saltoon, because in all of the noise and the shininess and the color were these like really thoughtful, abstract paintings by Romany Everly. I think they're called Oracle. And honestly, it made you stop. It just stop and think and feel where you were. And they felt really exciting and new. Yeah, I think maybe those. I'd go with Gillian, the Richard Salted. Oh, actually, and I hate to say it, another Brit. I'm really sorry I get so overexcited. Another British gallery, but it's an American artist, Hales. Hales have the work, and I saw the show in New York. And this is exciting work, right? Her name's Joanne A. Ann Craig, I believe, and she's at Hales. And you need to check it out. The work's developing. I think she's a young painter, and yeah, I'd go with one of those. So shout out to the British galleries this time, even though Frieze and Bill Meta.
Perfect. I mean, what a great list. And of course, you did have to buy a Martin Parr ice cream.
Of course, I mean, I couldn't
Your-
not, could
yeah,
I, right?
Given your project, it would have been, not allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do quick fire,
Oh God, I'm scared.
which it's kind of cheesy, but it's also a lot of fun, and so we've got to do it.
Okay.
One word for Frieze, LA, and you can't say traffic.
Frieze the show or like Art Week?
Frieze, the actual show.
Joy.
I love that. I have a necklace that spells out joy in big bubble letters.
I'll cover up what mine says.
Today I have a big C on. You can interpret that however you like. Okay, resilient or rehearsed?
Oh, resilient.
Oh, I kind of already made you do this, but this is different than artwork that stood out. Best booth.
Shit. That's rough, man.
Sorry.
Because I can't say best. Can I say my favorite? Because I can't say best. Usually,
Best in your opinion. Same
yeah.
idea.
Okay, thank you. I need to qualify it because shit. I can't. I can't. I can't. It's too good. Okay, I can tell you what everyone's favorite was.
Okay.
Was Ebony Patterson. Ebony Patterson was, it rocked. It was like, artists designed wallpaper. It was this great space. I'm going to go with that. I think that was a proper crowd-pleasing favorite and really beautifully made. Sorry, I know you wanted like one word, quick fire.
So, and who was she showing with? Hales. That was Hales. No.
No, that's not Hales.
Monique
I'm going to
Meloche.
come back to you.
Monique? No.
No? Maybe.
counts.
Yes, Monique. Yeah, because there was another one. The Megan Mulrooney showed the heated rivalry one. That's why I was getting the M's confused. Yes, you're right, Monique.
Awesome. She does also show Hales, so you clearly do love Hales.
Okay. Perfect.
Um, okay. Impossibly busy or like good busy?
That was close. It was almost impossible. For the preview, it was really busy.
Interesting. That's always the thing that people hear
Yeah.
say. Sales or crickets?
I have no idea. That's not my wheelhouse. That's you. I mean, I don't know. I can only tell you that people were excited and happy and it looked good. People seemed like there were sales, but that's not my thing.
According to our newspaper listed, as did Frieze, listed sort of 5 major artworks being placed with 5 major institutions, and that for me signals success. I'm just hoping it's kind of across the board. I'm sure someone, when we post this, maybe in the comments, can tell us what they heard. Okay, and do you think the Frieze LA energy, that week-long energy, is that going to sustain in LA for the next year? Like, does this set you up for a year of art energy?
That's a really interesting question. I don't know. If you're talking about me personally, I've been doing this for nearly 40 years. I have enough energy for art all day long, Yes, it's exciting. I think the excitement, the momentum definitely lasts a long time. I think that for me personally, it's a tricky city to navigate and stay connected. And what's so great is, though, the enthusiasm with which we all connect in these moments. And so I would really like to think so. I think it's really exciting. I think there were a lot of kind of naysayers a little bit about Frieze coming to LA. Like, is there a market for it? And are we trying to create something that isn't really here? But I think it's really, if you build it, they will come. And people showed up and it sounds like they bought and the work was incredible. I mean, yeah, I'm a proper fangirl. I would say one thing, if I had to say something, you asked me if there was anything bad I could say about it. We need refreshments inside. Now, I can't remember if we have that in London because it's been a while since I've done free. There's nothing inside. And I personally think, and people that I've spoken to, that they would sell more if there was somewhere inside that was accessible to everybody where you could get a cup of coffee. Because you want to sit down and think about your purchase. And by the time you go outside and it's hot, they're not set up. If I had to fault it somewhere, that would meet it.
Do you know, this year, and actually the year prior, Frieze brought in Sessions. I don't know if you've ever been to Sessions Art Club. It's next time you're here, we're going for lunch. It's mega, just a wonderful restaurant. And they did a pop-up inside the tent, along with a bunch of others. Like, there's lots of places where you can get coffee and salads and teas and whatever. But I sat down with a client and had like a proper gorgeous lunch in Sessions, and what they'd even like put sort of a translucent, it actually wasn't, it was like, just a really thin sheet of shadows that you could see. I mean, so you felt like you were kind of inside and outside. It was so perfect and you forgot you were there. But a client did end up buying, and I think part of it was that we were sat having this like calm, beautiful lunch. So to your point, I think that's not a crazy idea. Well, listen, I cannot ask any more of you. We have loved your coverage. It's been so cool having it come in, and thank you for joining us. And if we can we have you back next year?
Always. I'll be here. I'll be here.
And in between, frankly, I'm going to start calling you to give us some show reviews.
LA updates.
LA.
Yeah, I'm here for all of it. I'll be here. Thanks so much. It was really fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Scene Podcast. If you liked what you heard, I'd love it if you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to connect with us between episodes, follow us on Instagram @WatchSceneArt. I'm Carrie Scott. And I'll see you next time. Get it?